Excuse me. Excuse me. Is this the homeschool meeting?
Yes.
My neighbor sent me, and I just had a few questions. I was wondering if you could help me.
Sure.
On the first day of homeschool, my neighbor said to me,
"Can you homeschool legally?"
On the second day of homeschool, my neighbor said to me,
"Are they socialized?"
"And can you homeschool legally?" On the third day of homeschool, my neighbor said to me,
"Do you give them tests?" "Are they socialized?"
"And can you homeschool legally?" On the fourth day of homeschool, my neighbor said to me,
What about PE?
"Do you give them tests?" "But are they socialized?"
"And can you homeschool legally?" On the fifth day of homeschool, my neighbor said to me,
You are so strange. What about PE?
"Do you give them tests?"
But are they socialized?
"And can you homeschool legally?" On the sixth day of homeschool, my neighbor said to me,
"What about graduation?"
You are so strange. What about PE?
"Do you give them tests?"
But the socialization.
"And can you homeschool legally?" On the seventh day of homeschool, my neighbor said to me,
Look at what they're missing.
"What about graduation?"
She is so strange. What about PE?
"But don't you give them tests?"
Are they socialized?
"And can you homeschool legally?" On the eighth day of homeschool, my neighbor said to me,
Why do you do this? Look at what they're missing.
"What about graduation?"
You are so strange. What about PE?
"Do you give them tests?"
Are they socialized?
"And can you homeschool legally?" On the ninth day of homeschool, my neighbor said to me,
We'll miss the school play. Why do you do this? Look at what they're missing.
"What about graduation?"
You are so strange. What about PE?
"You give them tests?"
But do they get out much?
homeschool legally. On the 10th day of homeschool, my neighbor said to me,
What about the yearbook? We'll miss the school play. Why do you do this? Look at what they're missing.
"What about graduation?"
You are very strange. What about PE?
"Do you give them tests?"
But are they socialized?
And
can you homeschool legally? On the 11th day of homeschool, my neighbor said to me,
"I could never do that."
What about the yearbook? We'll miss the school play. Why do you do this? Look at what they're missing.
"What about graduation?"
You are so strange. What about PE?
"Do you give them tests?"
Are they socialized?
and can you homeschool legally? On the 12th day of homeschool, my neighbor said to me,
Can they go to college?
"I could never do that."
What about the yearbook? We'll miss the school play. Why would you do this? Look at what they're missing.
"What about graduation?"
We are so strange.
What about PE?
"Do you give them tests?"
What about the socialization?
And can you homeschool legally? On the 13th day of homeschool, I thoughtfully replied,
They can go for free. Have you heard of HEED? Order yours tonight. Your kid got the lead role. God told me to do this. They're missing nothing.
They'll be valedictorian.
We're just a little bit strange. We have Coach Rick.
They're in the highest percentile.
Yes, they're socialized.
can you homeschool legally? On the
with the curriculum.
When's the convention?
You're feeling a little bit strange. Just join VHS.
We all help each other.
Our kids will be great friends.
Welcome